Coming up on the Hilton Head News, Daufuskie Island hosts the 5th annual Marsh Tacky races. We'll take you there. Also, shoppers in search of arts and crafts had lots to choose from at the 2-day art market at the Coastal Discovery Museum at Honeyhorn. Stand by, the Hilton Head News is next. Welcome to the Hilton Head News. I'm Allie McNair. For the first time ever, the Marsh Tacky races were held on Daufuskie Island.
Water taxis, dolphin tours, fishing, shrimping, crabbing, pretty much anything on the water. They couldn't have had a better day to have the race than today.
This is the Intercoastal Waterway. We're at the north end of the island, and as you can see, we're on a sandy road here. The majority of the island is sandy like this. Absolutely fantastic. It has a lot of benefits. It's just a natural noise buffer. You don't get the sound with the pavement. It helps for the natural environment with the wildlife, so we absolutely love that. Now, I personally refer to this as the Daufuskie Mall. You know, every place has their little strip mall or whatever, and this is the Freeport Marina. It's a wonderful place to come for oyster roast. And typically on the weekend when the weather's nice, they'll have a band there.
With Robin's help, I found the attraction of the day, the famed Carolina Marsh Tacky. Officially the state horse since 2009, the Marsh Tacky is a rare breed, with only about 300 known to be remaining. Proceeds benefited the Carolina Marsh Tacky Association. With Robin's help, I got a front row view of some of the world's rarest horses. The breed is known to have been brought to the island by the Spanish as early as the 17th century, and have become a well-known staple in the Gullah tradition. The day's races thrilled the crowd, although the suspected separated shoulder of an ejected rider placed a damper on the day. My interview with Horsetail's David Grant was interrupted when the lens of Kevin Libby vaulted him into the annals of tacky lore. Grant redirected a horse from a crowd of hundreds, while Libby snapped the shot of the day. The horse was settled and even ran in the final heat, and in a day dedicated to preserving the legacy of Carolina's state horse, the Marsh Tacky, there was friendship, fun, and, well, one thing became very clear: I have a tough job. From the tail end of a sun-soaked day at Daufuskie Island, back to you, Ellie.
On Sunday, members of the Hilton Head Island Amateur Golf Association remembered one of their own at the Senior Championship Tournament at Oldfield Golf Club. Well-known golfer and realtor Jim Ferguson, shown here in a 2012 episode of Golf Weekly, died after finishing his round at Oldfield on Saturday. Jim Ferguson was a two-time Hilton Head Island amateur champion, the 2010 WHHI-AGA match play champion, and he also played in the USGA US Senior Open in 2010. Golfers in the Senior Championship at Oldfield wore black ribbons to honor and remember Ferguson during their final round. At 11 in the morning, a foghorn was sounded and a moment of silence was observed to remember Ferguson before play resumed. Now here's a look at what's happening around the region. South Carolina Highway Patrol officers are training on how to respond to shooters in public places, such as schools or office buildings. The South Carolina Highway Patrol is the largest law enforcement agency in the state, and its troopers are assigned to every county. According to a department spokesperson, it's likely that a trooper would be among the first to respond to a crisis. Since January, public safety officers from across the state have been attending what police call active shooter training at the Old State Mental Hospital in Columbia. They're learning the same tactics taught to officers across the state, whether they work for a sheriff, a police department, or a statewide agency. The University of South Carolina will join other public colleges in the state when it opens an economic development office in July. The state newspaper reports that USC's Office of Economic Engagement will broaden the school's reach beyond academics. Other South Carolina public colleges with economic development offices include Clemson University and the College of Charleston. A former South Carolina state defensive lineman has died as a result of an apparent domestic dispute. Friday morning, 25-year-old Otis Matthew Key Jr. was pronounced dead at the Edgefield County Hospital, where he was transported after suffering a gunshot wound to the chest. Johnston police say they've arrested 25-year-old Ashley Butler and plan to charge her with murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. Butler was reportedly Key's live-in girlfriend in Johnston, where they raised 2 children together. The Times and Democrat of Orangeburg reports that Key played defensive end and nose guard for South Carolina State from 2006 to 2009. He was a graduate of Strom-Thurmond High School, played on 2 Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference championship teams as a junior and a senior. Now, when we come back on the Hilton Head News, we'll get a status report on the island's fresh water supply and a preview of events planned for Small Business Week. Stay right there.
The Westin Hilton Head Island Resort and Spa is celebrating its grand renewal. Relax and unwind at the totally renovated resort featuring new pools, lush gardens and courtyards, guest rooms, ballroom, main lobby conservatory, and more. Enjoy family fun on the beach, improve your game with unparalleled golf, indulge your senses with newly inspired low country cuisine in our refreshed restaurants including Oceanfront View 32 and Barony Bar, and rejuvenate at the Heavenly Spa. Stay for a night, a weekend, or more at the Westin Hilton Head Island Resort and Spa. Be well, be Westin.
With a look at the stories behind the headlines, BJ Frazier joins us on the Hilton Head News. He is with the Hilton Head Sun. Hi, BJ.
Hello, Allie.
What's the latest, BJ, on the island's freshwater supply?
Well, as we all know, the salt water continually is pushing into our freshwater supply because of the demand and usage and so forth. And the South Island Public Service District is doing something about it. They are doing a $10 million project whereby they're replacing pumps and pipes and so forth. But the big thing they're doing, they are going to drill a 620-foot freshwater well, which is compared to what is existing today, 150, 250 feet. This is like 3 times as deep, and it really is going to hopefully ensure for potable water in the future.
Well, it's definitely something we need to keep here on the island. Recently, BJ, there was a meeting between parents and the Beaufort County Board of Education members. Give us a synopsis of that one.
Yeah, well, it was not all the members. It was like 3 board members at the request of these parents sat down in kind of an informal setting, and the parents had some concerns about, in particular, what prompted the meeting was floor grading. And what happens there is that if a student performs miserably on a test and says gets like a 20 or a 0 or a 10, whatever it might be, what they do is they put a floor on that grade so the student can't get any lower than a 60. And the theory is that way the student can make up for that and somehow pass later on. And of course, some parents don't like that. They say that's preferential treatment and everybody should get what they get. And also these parents are concerned that the communication between the board and the schools is not as welcoming as it should be. So we'll see. It's an ongoing discussion.
Well, it sounds like it will be a good one once again. BJ Frazier of the Hilton Head Sun, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us on the Hilton Head News.
Thank you, Annalise.
Well, the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce is holding Small Business Week in May, and here to talk about that and much more, Charlie Clark, Vice President of Communications with the Chamber. Hi, Charlie.
Hey, Allie.
Well, tell me, why is an event like this or a week marking small businesses or noting them in the Low Country, why is it important?
Because small business is a big deal, Allie. It really is. When you look at the makeup of not just our membership, which is about 80% of our 1,600 members are small businesses, it's the makeup, it's the backbone of the national economy too. So it's a really important factor when it comes to our local economy and the success of that. So Small Business Week is just a week that we're putting out there to celebrate small business, to help small businesses learn more about how they can grow, as well as to offer lots and lots of networking opportunities.
What kinds of things will you do as far as networking goes and marketing, Charlie?
You know, it's amazing. Networking is really important when we ask our members in membership surveys what matters to you, and that is one of the top 3 they always list is I want to connect with other businesses. You know, research has shown that referral marketing is 4 times as effective as cold calling. And so anytime you can help the business community build those relationships, which is what we're going to do with Small Business Week, we have our very, very popular Pork in the Parking Lot, who says there's no such thing as a free lunch. We'll be doing a free barbecue lunch for our members as part of that week, as well as other opportunities to network in Bluffton, on Hilton Head Island, just a variety of great opportunities to grow and learn.
Well, social media, the Chamber took advantage of social media at the recent RBC Heritage, and that's something small businesses are really looking at these days. Are you going to be helping them take a look at that as well?
You know, absolutely. It's just something that our members and the business community seems constantly hungry for, is how do I maneuver in the social media waters? And it is a little treacherous if you don't know how to get there. We're going to be an entire day of strictly bring your laptops, bring your tablets, learn from the experts. They're going to be working with you one-on-one as well as in a group setting to help you really figure out what are the best avenues for you. And then after that, we're going to network with a special Geeks, we call it Geeks Networking event that's going to be happening that evening, because a lot of social media folks tend to be kind of social media geeks as well and are very into it. So it's just a fun thing we're going to be doing, networking following the social media event.
Yeah, geeks doesn't have that negative connotation anymore, that's for sure. And I know you're doing small business awards this year too, right?
We are. You know, we think it's really important to honor those small businesses that have really gone above and beyond. We're doing it 2 ways this year, which is interesting. We're going to be honoring more established business. We'll have a Chamber of the Year, a Small Business of the Year award for them, as well as successful startup. We're going to honor those companies and really put the spotlight on companies who have really taken off in the first 3 years. They're just fledgling, but moving on and doing it right.
Well, it's nice always to get that recognition. Charlie Clark, Vice President of Communications with the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce, thanks so much.
Thanks, Allie.
And when we return, we'll find out just how important customer service is when it comes to tourism here in the Lowcountry. Stay with us.
I'm here at the top of the Harbortown Lighthouse with Nadia Wagner. She's the lighthouse keeper. Nadia, this is a Hilton Head icon, but many people don't realize it's so much more.
It is, Debbie. The view is so thrilling. Many people don't realize you can climb to the top. We've had many marriage proposals, even weddings. You can shop at the top for gifts you won't find anywhere else and wave to friends and family on our live webcam. It's the high point of the Lowcountry.
You do not want to miss this view. What's the admission cost, Nadia?
It's only $375 per person, and kids 5 and under are free.
Make this a must-see while you're here on Hilton Head. Thanks, Nadia.
Thank you. See you soon.
Tourism is big business here on Hilton Head Island and in the Lowcountry. Recently, we had the chance to talk with Dr. Simon Hudson. He is the director of the Center of Economic Excellence in Tourism at the University of South Carolina in Columbia. Here's what he had to say about the important role that customer service plays in bringing business to the area.
I was asked to do some customer service training for a big organisation, had a little material was out there to guide managers in the art of customer service. Some institutions, organisations get it, Disney get it, but that was Walt Disney knowing years ago instinctively that customer service leads to profits. Too many organisations see it as a cost. They don't invest in customer service. And a lot of them think they're delivering outstanding customer service, but we know from research that customers are generally not satisfied. And so we have an advantage down here in South Carolina. We've got natural hospitality, but we still need to have continuous training on the art of customer service. Just simple things like looking people in the eyes, smiling. And you know, we do. Again, I noticed at the Heritage this week, the service was outstanding. The volunteers. I spoke to a lovely woman who's on her 37th master. She was 80 years old and big smile on her face. She thought I was just a regular tourist, which I was, but she was just dynamic, and it was wonderful to see that, and we need to have more of that.
Right, and I think if you take a look online now, and you would know this more than me, at some of those sites that rate restaurants, hotels, and the like, if they're negative comments, a lot of times they have to do with customer service.
Absolutely, and that's critical. You know, service recovery, for example, you know, the best organisations have a whole strategy in place if something goes wrong. Because if you get something wrong and someone starts spreading the word online, it doesn't just go out to 2 or 3 people. It can go out to millions, and then you're really trying to recover your brand and build that image again. So, but really, the best bit of advice is get it right the first time. Make sure, you know, I'm funded partly by the state, partly by private funding. One of the private funders has made millions in restaurants, and he said to me, just little things like cleaning the ketchup bottle before people are served. He had to tell his staff 6 times before they did it instinctively, 6 times. But then they did. And then just that little thing of where the ketchup bottle has got ketchup on it, and you know, suddenly it's clean.
Yeah, it doesn't look too great when you open it up and it looks like that.
It doesn't, and it tarnishes. You know, we were at a restaurant. I won't say what it was. Passed a restaurant yesterday in Hilton Head, and I said to my wife, "Oh, that's where we got really bad service. Oh, we won't go there again." And this was 3 years ago.
It stays with you.
You need one instant like that. So you've got to be on top of your game. It's continuous training.
Is it time-consuming training?
Absolutely.
Well, you said this one man had to tell his employees 6 times to clean off the ketchup
It can
bottle.
be time-consuming, and it has to be ongoing. Again, you know, the best organisations, the Starbucks, the Disneys, it's constant. It's continuous training. Even the masters, you know, they train. We had 500 students working at the masters last week, and they come and interview for an hour to make sure they get the right person. And again, you're not hiring on qualifications. You're hiring on personalities. And then once you've hired that person, it's training them to be there, to smile, to greet the guest. And you're on stage, and it's critical. So it is time-consuming, it's costly, but it's definitely worth the investment.
Well, we appreciate your time so much, and thank you for joining us here on the Hilton Head
It's really nice
News.
of you to invite me here. Thank you.
There were a lot of visitors to Daufuskie Island this weekend to watch the Marsh Tacky races. Here with a little more on that and much more with the Daufuskie Report, Channing Heiss, Binya Foundation member and Daufuskie reporter. Hi, Channing.
Hi, Allie. How are you today?
Great, thank you. Well, what about it? How did things go? What have you heard about the Marsh Tacky races?
Well, by all accounts, it was an enormously successful event. As you know, it's the first time it was held on Daufuskie. That was a little bit of a logistical trick, but everybody stepped up and made it work out great. There were over 1,000 attendees. It was great weather on the beach. The general winner of the race was a horse by the name of Jack Friday. There was one little incident where a rider was thrown and there was an injury, but she ought to be all right. And we ended up with a semi-riderless horse for half a race. But other than that, it was great, and everybody really enjoyed it, and they're expecting to do that on Daufuskie again next year.
Wow, that sounds really great. I know one report had estimated maybe a few hundred, so 1,000 is a lot more than at least one news outlet predicted. A Belk's annual spring sale charity event, that took place over the weekend as well to benefit nonprofits. Well, your Binya Foundation is one of those. Was it well supported?
It was. We sold a lot of tickets. We want to thank everybody who bought tickets from us and all the other nonprofits who benefited from this. Belk does a great job supporting these nonprofits, and as you know, events like this are the lifeblood of what keeps nonprofits afloat. So we really appreciate that. And they're going to be doing it again in November, the first weekend in November, so we're really looking forward to that, and we want to thank everybody who made that happen.
Great. I understand, Channing, that the Binya Foundation is supporting adaptive fitness efforts to involve viewers with disabilities. Can you talk about that a little bit for us?
Sure, Allie, I'd like to. This is obviously, as you know, the Binya Foundation is a community development organization, and community involves the people in that community. So we're really excited about promoting the idea of adaptive fitness, especially for people with orthopedic disabilities and issues, that kind of thing. Because it's important to remember that disabled fitness is not an oxymoron. We want that to be seen as mainstream. And there are people in our low country community who are really picking up the ball. We've had a lot of enthusiasm, for example, from Powerhouse Gym Family Fitness up in Bluffton. If anyone's interested in taking part in the class that they're trying to develop, they can call Sarah Bleem up there at Powerhouse Fitness, and they'd be happy to sign you up. They're looking for about 15 participants, so we're hoping that'll go really well.
Well, some great information to get out to folks. Channing, we're out of time, but I understand that the Daufuskie Island Elementary School's annual oyster roast on Sunday was a big success.
It was. It was, as you know, a busy weekend on Daufuskie, and that went just great. All the proceeds obviously are going to Daufuskie Elementary, and we want to thank Dolphin Management for all of their help putting on that event. They did a great job. Well,
Channing Heiss, Binya Foundation member and Daufuskie reporter, we want to thank you for joining us here on the Hilton Head News.
Thank you, Allie. It's always great to be with you.
And when we come back, we'll have Nancy Watts with our entertainment report, and also we'll take you to the art market at historic Honeyhorn. Stay right there.
I'm here at the top of the Harbortown Lighthouse with Nadia Wagner. She's the lighthouse keeper. Nadia, this is a Hilton Head icon, but many people don't realize it's so much more.
It is, Debbie. The view is so thrilling. Many people don't realize you can climb to the top. We've had many marriage proposals, even weddings. You can shop at the top for gifts you won't find anywhere else and wave to friends and family on our live webcam. It's the high point of the Low Country.
You do not want to miss this view. What's the admission cost, Nadia?
It's only $3.75 per person, and kids 5 and under are free.
Make this a must-see while you're here on Hilton Head. Thanks, Nadia.
Thank you. See you soon.
For 2 days, arts and crafts were on display made by local artists and artists from around the country at the Coastal Discovery Museum at Honeyhorn. Kevin Libby takes us there.
Sitting here under 500- and 600-year-old Virginia live oaks. We're under this beautiful canopy of trees. It's a nice environment. We have 96 artists this year, the most we've ever had, which is really exciting. The patrons are all saying it's the finest artists we've ever had, and being here at Huntinghorn makes it very special. Come out here and learn about the cultural heritage and the natural history of the island.
I take pride in it because it's such a vital part of our culture, and it's been passed on for so many generations in the Gullah culture, and we want to try to preserve it as long as we can and keep it alive. So we try to get our young people, any young people actually that are interested in learning, we're willing to teach, that we could probably have it another couple of generations. We look forward to seeing you guys, so come on down.
We do a lot of watercolor. We've lived here 25 years, blessed enough to be able to capture the colors of Hilton Head. I'm very much a golf painter. Last summer, my son and I went to Pebble Beach. This is a famous visual. It's called the Lone Cypress near Pebble Beach, California. Art Market is really a nice place to do what I do. The weather's great, and it's been a great show.
Norfolk Island pine grows in two places. It comes from Hawaii and from the Gulf Coast to South Florida, which is obviously where I got it. And the wood is characterized by the fact that the trees grow, or the branches grow in a ring from the center of the tree.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Hollowed out piece of wood. Hello, hello, hello.
There you go.
I live in Sun City. You know, I hate to go to things like this because I'm
You're going to buy something.
It's terrible. So I thought what I would do is take a walk on the beach today and get worn out so that I wouldn't come back by it. Well, you know, hook, line, and sinker. You know, you put out a little bait and I bite.
For all of our viewers out at Sun City, if you want to see a beautiful piece by John Diamond, just stop by Stanley's house.
That's it. You're welcome.
Nature photography, mostly from the island.
And Nathaniel tells me you have the best pictures here on Hilton Head. Nathaniel, can you back that up?
She's a professional photographer, and she's really good at photography, and she's the best photographer on earth.
And you heard it here first. Nathaniel, if anyone out there wants to find us on TV, how do they find us? We are channel?
Channel 3 if you have Time Water Cable, Channel 8 if you have Hargrey at 6 o'clock.
That's when the Hilton Head News was broadcast. Nathaniel is one of the smartest kids I've met, I think, ever. And I would take his word that this photography is indeed the best photography here on the island. From a beautiful sunny day at the art market here at the Coastal Discovery Museum, I'm Kevin Libby for WHHI-TV. Back to you, Allie.
And now with a look at things to do or where to go on Hilton Head Island. From this point forward, we have Nancy Watts with us. Hi, Nancy.
Hi there. Good to be back.
Well, I know you've got an idea as far as attending a theater production. Tell us about that.
That's the one that starts, I guess, we've got Little Women, and we've also got Park Your Car in Harvard Yard, and I didn't even say it with the Boston accent.
That's okay, and that's, who is that, South Carolina Rep, or?
Yes, it is South Carolina Repertory.
Great, and that one goes on till May 12th. You've also got a musical choice for us if we're interested or love jazz.
Oh, we have. It's Wednesday, May the 1st, and it's going to be at Palmetto Bluff. And you think, oh, I can't go to Palmetto Bluff. But yes, we can go to Palmetto Bluff. And it's $25 per car. It's being done by the Jazz Society. And, well, not that we don't have a Jazz Society anymore, I don't think. But nevertheless, Bob Masteller is in charge of it, and there will be 3 sets.
Thank you for joining us here on the Hilton Head News. As always, great to have you on. And we want to thank you for joining us for this edition of the Hilton Head News. I am Allie McNair. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you the next time.